in the early season as both of these programs try to make an early statement and build that resume. Welcome to Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska, and home of the Cornhuskers. As we'll see the number 8 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on the 22nd ranked team in the land, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. The Huskers will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Michigan's offense will go on the attack first. And they are coming off a sensational performance led by this quarterback who's hoping he can build on things, Jesse.
Well, I know, having played the position, when you have a big game, you just can't wait to get back out there again and build on that performance. David, last time out, he was making the right reads. He showed off his arm talent. He had this offense.
It's a seam wide open. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. You can barely hear yourself thinking here. To get this defense off to a good start. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. The margin for error so small in a conference like this, and in Big Ten play, really imperative to get off to a good start.
We really focus on all offseason getting off to such a great start, right? Start fast, win our conference. Well, this is step 1. And so I think you're so tired of hitting your own color jerseys, by the way. You're excited when you get in conference play. You start to get some of that familiarity, some of that also that hatred that you have for these other teams. So the Big Ten is a fun conference.
Yeah, and you know both of these teams, their players have had this game circled all offseason because this is the first one. This is the first step towards winning a Big Ten championship. Both teams feel like they've got the playmakers to compete in conference this year, but it all starts today.
The Wolverines look to keep this drive humming. Looking for a man. It's Underwood. Quickly complete.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
And the Wolverines with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. They'll go with a direct snap. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
To the air on 1st down. Catch in the middle, it's Morgan. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. Completing a forward pass was much like solving the Rubik's Cube for Michigan a year ago, but now, Jesse, they have the nation's top recruit in Bryce Underwood, and the key is to develop him.
Yes, because he is the future for Michigan. There is no question about it. And you just saw just 2 seasons ago, when you've got a quarterback who's dynamic, who's highly recruited and developed, a guy like J.J. McCarthy, the sky's the limit for Michigan. You can win national championships. That's the hope for the Wolverines moving forward.
This is a kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
This crowd rising up, sensing that its defense needs some help. Shakes off the defender. Picks up enough to give them first. From the 13.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? And having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his head down, and he took off and went running and generated an explosive play for the offense.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to...
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
And this defense has been so impressive to watch. Look at them. Get to the quarterback, get the sack. They play so fast. It's like they have 12 men on the field. Another good performance going down right now. Coming off of last week, putting a goose egg on the board.
Fires deep toward the end zone. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up. And the field goal unit is on the field. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. Oh, the attempt is no good. Kicker tried to tack a few more on the scoreboard, guys, and couldn't do it. The Cornhuskers offense will go to work for the first time today. They sure hope that that dynamic connection that was on display last week rears its head and wreaks havoc again today, Jesse.
And last week, it didn't matter what the secondary was doing from a coverage standpoint, David, whether it was man, zone, double covered, ISO'd. These two were simply unstoppable. Huge challenge for the defense today.
Well, maybe they tried the triple coverage. I mean, because obviously nothing worked a week ago, but I've got to take his main threat away. Obviously a superstar out wide. Like, I've got to make somebody else beat me. Obviously a great QB wide receiver duo. I'm just not letting that wide receiver get me today.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. From the gun, the running back has it. Wide open spaces. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. And the Huskers, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. Right back to the well. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Dropping back, it's Raiola. Flips it out on the screen. It's a running room. They've got him now. He almost picked up that first down on the screen. The Cornhuskers really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. Blasted as he lets it go. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure. The quarterback gets hit. Just not on the same page with his target.
Hauls it in, the first down and more. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
Really nice job by the offense. Hey, man, trust your guys, right? We got all these analytics on 4th down, say to go for it. They trust their quarterback. He gets it done with the completion and gets the big first down.
Leaves it with the back. Moves it forward just a bit, a pickup of 1 to the 35.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. The Huskers will line up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And that is just about a perfect punt as he pins them deep inside the 10-yard line. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Using his leg, it's Marshall. Sweet cut there. He'll slither through and pick up 3 and get it out to the 10-yard line.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Back to pass, it's Underwood. Quickly out to the tight end. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
Turning on the Jets. Oh, a lot of space. They bring him down, but that's why you give them that wildcat look to create an opportunity for big plays.
You cannot let that happen to you defensively. That is the definition of getting gashed. They didn't have one guy in their front seven even get a finger on that.
Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Marsh. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed? After he made his break, he was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
It'll be a run on third and short. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And that was an absolute no-brainer. 4th and inches, I'm not going to kick a long field goal. Absolutely not. I'm going to get physical. I'm going to prove to my team I got faith in them. I got you.
A shot toward the end zone. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. The Big Ten schedule sort of ate these guys up last year. They're looking for a better performance this time around.
Yeah, and it eats a lot of people up, obviously being such a tough conference. But if you look at the way you start the season, a lot of times, man, that's when you build your momentum. That's when you build your confidence. If you can hang around, be competitive, sometimes the way you start, Palmer, it just lays out the rest of the season for you.
And they know they just got to be a lot more physical this year. That schedule did beat them up last year, but take a look at this year's schedule. A lot of those same teams, they're right there again. They're going to get another crack at them. They've got
enough space. And he's forced out of bounds close to the goal line, and that shove saved a touchdown.
And that's a nice job by this QB. Great job. You show patience, right? Like, if they don't come take me, I'm going to keep running. That's how I go pick up another first down, move the sticks, and this offense can keep churning.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Snap it to the back. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. 3rd and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Second quarter might not be gamble time, but inside the 3, Palmer, I've got the green light. I'm going for this.
I am too, and you're essentially running.
Sneaks it in.
And the head coach is going to keep going for it on 4th down because his offense responds like that. Your coach gives you the ultimate vote of confidence. Down on the goal line, we're going for it. I believe in you guys to execute and get us in the end zone, and they pay it off. Phenomenal job up front by the offensive line. You love to see a team respond to their coach's confidence.
Cornhuskers ready to go back to work on offense. They're looking for something, looking for anything to try to put some kind of score on the board, down 7-0. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish, and they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
Motion from the wide receiver. Off play action. Got it behind the line. It's Hunter. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke. Not much room to run.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Got the quick pass. He goes out of bounds, maybe a step shy of the 40. They're going to mark it at the 39, and a really nice pickup there.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running. Second down coming. Got it in the middle. It's Key. He's loose. Makes the tackle at the 46, but it's a 15-yard gain to get them into plus territory. Just keeps swinging it. Finds the tight end. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And the Huskers are at the line looking to convert on third and short. On third and short, they'll go to the power running game. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
And you hear about run blitzes. This is exactly what a run blitz is. When you know the ball's coming up the middle, you want to bring those linebackers, get them closer to the line of scrimmage, and fire. Right when the ball snapped, he's coming downhill, doing a good job creating the loss. That linebacker really knew what was going on.
So here comes the Michigan offense. They've got time, they've got the lead, and David is sort of like a doctor. First, do no harm.
Do no harm, but also momentum is hard to create and sometimes hard to stop. You have it, so Jesse, don't do anything stupid to create some momentum for the other side.
I think a lot of this comes down to your quarterback and whether or not he's making good decisions in this game. If yes, be aggressive. If not, let's just take the lead into halftime and get ready for the second half.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. Second down coming up. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Got the first down. Looking for more. Knocked down at the 31 after a gain of 5. And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Dropping back, it's Underwood. Fires to the wideout. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
All right, defense, it ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
It's caught. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance.
Man, this defense, they have got to get better in coverage if they want to get off the field anytime soon. You keep defending like that, this offense might hang 50 on you by the end of the game.
Looking to throw on first down. Trying to get behind the defense. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Michigan.
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a two-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. Coverage team there to make the stop. They avoid disaster, and that's the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Man, a lot of ways to describe those first two quarters in Lincoln, but let's just go with notable. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Memorial Stadium.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. The Wolverines will kick it off to start the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Trying to set the tone with the run. Into the pile, maybe got one. He stopped at the 21.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much.
There he goes. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Off the play fake on first down, to throw. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Markway. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Behind the chains now on second and long. Back to throw, it's Raiola. Fires to the big fella. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Looking to throw again. Going over the top. Makes a grab on the shot. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder.
Throws toward the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Oh, the offense just not able to come up with that. You knew that was going to be a bang-bang play, right? They're taking a shot into the end zone. That's going to have to meet a contested catch on the back end, but he wasn't able to come up with it because of the hit.
Gets rid of it. Quickly complete. Touchdown, Cornhuskers! A great catch and run for 6. Timing and better execution, that is just what a quarterback and wide receiver need.
And it's timing, it's route running, right? You got to be precise. You got to know exactly what yard you're running to. The quarterback receiver on the same page. That's why you get the touchdown.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They just saw their lead cut in half, and now they'll try to answer. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
He'll be stopped at the 27, but picks up 10 on that one. Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. Looking to throw, it's Underwood. Got it in the middle, it's McCulley. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. And the Wolverines can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He's got it out to the 37 after gaining 5.
And that's a good second down run. Commit to the running game. Run the football. Great gain. Great job by the offensive line. Keep it rolling.
With the catch, it's Klein. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
Not the big fella, the tight end. The wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
The Wolverines will have it 1st and 10. Gives it on the option. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive. Stick your foot in the ground. Pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. 3rd down, and the Husker faithful getting loud, trying to make moving the chains impossible. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. They're going to send out the field goal unit, and that kicker will have to launch a rocket. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. The field goal is no good, and the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys. They'll open this drive and snap it from the 44. Makes the quick grab. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
They've crossed midfield at the 45 with a 1st and 10. They'll give it to Johnson. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. We talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. And we've reached the end of the 3rd, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. Here comes the 4th. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw. It's Raiola. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd.
And this offense stays aggressive and they pass the football. I think you can always look back and say, 3rd and short, I'd love for you to run it, be the more physical team. But nice job sticking up and bowing their necks for this defense.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Catches it past the sticks and still on his feet. Makes the grab and knocked down, and he's got it at the 25-yard line. The Cornhuskers are on the move. They'll run it for the gun. Finds a little bit of room. Give him a couple down to the 23. Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. The play action fake. Looking for the score. Touchdown, Husker. Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open, and he was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And he knocks it through for the tie here in the 4th quarter. On the run from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Use the play fake, now to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, and it's picked off. This could be huge in a tie game. That kind of play can really get it going, not only on defense, but the great field position for the O at the 37. And here comes the Nebraska offense back onto the field. They dug themselves out of a 14-0 hole, and now a chance to take the lead on this drive. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The Huskers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Caught in the backfield, it's Hunter. Oh, no, the ball popped out. This could change things.
When you start to get that offense going and start having success, you've got to make sure when you get closer to the scoring range, I take care of that football. If you don't, coach is going to go you on the sideline, you in the game.
They stop him again, and not only that, they've made this fourth down that much harder. Punt is on its way. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a rhythm.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
Looking to throw, it's Underwood. Plucks it out of the air. There he goes. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quarterback making checks. Looking to fire. There's the pressure. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
This defense continues to do a great job of not letting a great athlete at quarterback make big plays on them. Great job pursuing him, keeping him in that cage, not letting him get out in the open field because we know he can do some damage. Nice job by this defense so far.
Caught over the middle. It's Klein. A giant chunk of yardage picked up there, and they're down to the 24.
You got to love the rhythm this quarterback is in here on this drive, guys. 2 completions. He's seeing the safety rotation that time. Saw the one-on-one matchup he wanted. Took his shot. He is in a groove.
They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Got it into the red zone. Dragged down at the 18-yard line.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
He's got it on the run. Touchdown, Wolverines. And with that, they move out front here in the 4th. A methodical drive that they finish off by tossing it to the tight end.
And the tight end, I'll tell you what, this is a position that's evolved so much, right? And you see him move all over the field. It's kind of like, where is Waldo? You got to find this big fella, especially down in the red zone area. This is the guy they're going to target. They'll make the big play, get the touchdown.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They go to the ground. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. And it pays off, the sack at the 20.
And it's such an advantage for this defense to have an outside linebacker like that can rush the passer because they can set the edge. They can get off the ball, and they're just way too fast for tight ends or for offensive tackles to get out and block them.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Still plenty of time for this offense, but this probably their final drive, under 2 minutes to play. Throws to the wideout. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. This offense has it with really good field position. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Runs through the tackle. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line and a big red zone opportunity here.
And not a surprise by this offense, right? This is a game management type situation. I want to run the football. I want to run the clock. The clock is my friend with the lead. Late in the fourth quarter, inside of a minute, I'm going to keep this ground game going and make you have to look at that clock continue to tick.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. How much fun was that? I mean, you just dream of having games like that every time you go into the booth. I'll watch those two teams play anytime.
Yeah, that's what's fun about good teams. Really good teams squaring off. Like, there wasn't a lot of difference between these two squads. We could watch these every week. Love calling these games because they're competitive. Great talent on the field. Palmer, unfortunately, somebody had to lose.
Yeah, and the higher-ranked team was ranked higher for a reason. At the end of the day, when it came down to it, they made the biggest plays in the most critical moments. Both of these teams have tremendous playmakers, and they're both going to make a lot of noise late in the college football season, but give the higher-ranked team tons of credit. They earned this one.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.